Hello, I'm Oskar Sherlief and you're watching the news from Kazakhstan. The list of approved amendments on the Leader of Nation was published in the latest issue of the newspaper Kazakhstanskaya Pravda. Essentially, this means that on June 15th, Nursultan Nazarbayev was granted unprecedented powers and what looks like unlimited authorities.
Assassination attempt on the leader of the nation provides imprisonment of up to 20 years or death penalty. Violation of guarantees of immunity of the nation's leader and his family provides for imprisonment term of up to 5 years. Public insult or any other infringement on the honor and dignity of the nation's leader provides for a fine, arrest of up to 5 months or 1 year. The same actions committed by the mass media provide for an arrest of up to 6 months or imprisonment of up to 3 years. The violation of guarantees of immunity of nation's leader and his family members provide imprisonment of up to 5 years.
Nursultan Nazarbayev became the leader of the nation despite his prior refusal to accept the honor. The MPs who initiated and unanimously passed the controversial amendments reluctantly commented on the new law on Tuesday.
Despite the refusal of Nazarbayev, the amendments dealing with the law on the leader of the nation came into force. The society considered the bill biased, but the MPs unanimously accepted it nevertheless. Now, though, parliamentarians reluctantly comment on their legal act, referring to busy schedules. Some lawmakers flee cameras right after hearing the question of reporters.
Oh, Raisa Ivanovna, where are you going?
On Tuesday, there were not many MPs in the parliament's halls. All the big banners with the portrait of the leader of the nation and ruling party remind about the grand political event. A few lawmakers still agreed to comment on the matter, expressing univocal opinions.
How could he veto the bill? He just expressed his opinion. He's the most modest person ever.
Of course, the president could have vetoed the bill, but he listened to the population's opinion. The controversial amendments were accepted unanimously by all MPs a month ago in just 2 days. Later, when the president expressed his disagreement, parliamentarians once again unanimously approved his decision, calling it wise and strong-willed. Deep inside, I was glad for him, praising his wisdom and his correct understanding and acceptance of our assessment while still keeping his own opinion. I think this is just amazing. Nursultan Nazarbayev has yet to speak about the new law. Observers believe that nothing is likely to change as the status of the leader of the nation has been officially legalized.
From now on, Nursultan Nazarbayev is no longer subject to criminal liability. His property is untouchable and the rule unchallengeable for the rest of his life. The opposition is disappointed as the country is becoming a totalitarian state, whereas officials say that they observe the strengthening of the statehood.
The law on the leader of the nation served as a test for the political system of Kazakhstan, passed by both chambers of the parliament.
President Nazarbayev is the chairman of the ruling party Nur-Otan. Thus, his deputies and assistants cannot introduce bills like these for public discussions without his approval. With the help of this law, Kazakhstan has reached 2 world records on the speed of bill passing and on the originality of the law.
Later, the president refused to sign the bill, and the rejected MPs were left with nothing better to do than note the wisdom and insight of the head of the state.
The president could veto the bill, but I believe he knew that if he would, it could lead to a hidden serious conflict with the parliament.
Alas, there was no conflict. The opposition, represented by the co-chairman of the Social Democratic Party Azat Bulat Abilov, believes this mutual agreement between the president and the parliament is far from being politically vigilant.
The president did this on purpose to create an impression that he didn't want to sign the document, but the parliament still passed the bill, and now he cannot really do anything against the parliament. This will probably be the official version. Interestingly, the bill was signed by Masimov, who doesn't have this right to sign documents like these, as he is the head of the executive branch and must implement laws coming from the president and judicial branch.
On the other hand, Alikhan Baymenov, the chairman of Akjol party, points at the presence of a certain style of the policymakers from the president's administration.
The public consciousness will mostly remember the president's refusal to sign the bill, and later the people will be told that he didn't want to oppose his own team.
The leader of the nation is now the timeless ruler. From now on, all decisions on external and internal affairs have to be approved by Nazarbayev. At the same time, the country seemingly retains its democratic image.
This law will also serve as a guarantee of the authorities' continuity. However, the question of a successor to be chosen until 2012 is not yet discussed by the inner circle of political elite. I believe the president will run for the office in 2012.
Amzibek Zholshibekov, one of the initiators of the now famous bill, called a briefing on Parliament on Tuesday to publicly express his joy towards the matter.
The MP says that it was not known beforehand that the amendments were accepted and entered into force. Just like everyone else, the lawmaker learned about it from the press. The bill was initiated by Svetlana Verkhoro, Zakul Khalmuradov and Amzibek Zholshibekov. The latter noted today that if there is a necessity in the future, the parliament can improve and amend the law on the leader of the nation.
When our colleagues from both chambers supported us, we were really glad. But now, when the bill became the law, we're even gladder because our work, asked by the population, has a sense of completion.
The president's son-in-law, Timur Kulibayev, defends his honor and dignity in court, although this might not be necessary after the passing of the law on the leader of nation. Nevertheless, the current trial on the case of Nazarbayev's relative and billionaire Timur Kulibayev against ex-banker Mukhtar Ablazov is likely to reach its conclusion. The former head of BTA Bank, accused of oil magnate and chairman of the National Fund Samru Kazana on financial machinations. Attorney Bayramali Ahmedov, who represents Kulibayev, admitted the existence of a multi-turn deal to sell the assets of Aktube Munaygas in 2003, but noted there was nothing criminal about it, just pure business.
The representative of Mukhtar Ablazov, lawyer Sergei Utkin, intends to prove the opposite, that the corruption took place indeed. He is ready to present to the court documents received from the former banker Ablazov, which allegedly show that Timur Kulibayev received a bribe of $170 million. The lawyer asked to postpone the trial for 2 weeks as he needs time to translate documents from English to Russian and bring them from London to Almaty. Judge Kilikeva left the petition unanswered. Utkin also asked to collaborate with the financial police, but the motion was refused. The next hearing is scheduled for June 16th.
The court has no intentions to investigate the evidence, and when we said that we can bring it over on our own, the judge just refused it. Now it looks like the hearing on Wednesday could be the last one.
The leader of the public union Leave Housing to People sues the management of the local department of the Architecture and Construction Control. The city attempted to cut the opposition's water access, and the activist believes the persecution is politically motivated.
The leader of the public union Leave Housing to People, Yesenbek Ukteshbayev, sues the Architecture Construction Control Management of Almaty. He accuses the state enterprise of illegal attempts to cut off the water supply to his house. Recently, representatives of the Architecture Construction Control said that Ukteshbayev launched some illegal construction on the landlord in question, although the public figure himself links the official's attack with his political activities.
As you remember, we held a conference in my yard because we had no other choice. All the troubles began after that. See, there are no works underway here.
Yesenbek Ukteshbayev's spouse, Bakhet Gul, successfully fought for the water supply, first with the Waterworks Agency and then with the Architecture Control. According to Bakhet Gul, officials claimed that her neighbor filed a complaint against the family, but the woman managed to defend the rights of the household. They just stood there and did not know what to do. Then they called someone and asked for further instructions, but I told them that everything is legal and there are no violations or unauthorized constructions in the yard. The actions of the architecture construction agencies is a persecution attempt, believes public defender Jasaralko Anashalin, adding that Yesenbek Ukteshbayev's efforts to protect interests of mortgage holders are not liked by the authorities.
There is a saying that can be applied to them. Bring the hair and they will bring the whole head. That is what's going on with the Yesen and all other opposition members.
At the same time, officials preferred to avoid comments on the matter. The deputy head of the Architecture Construction Agency, Bakhatjan Mukhtarov, refused to talk with the reporters without the approval of the municipality's press service. Interestingly, the first hearing on Ukteshbayev's suit did not take place as officials chose not to appear in the court.